Hello and welcome back to 2PlayerStart Plays Ultima, where Thomas is now going to check out a couple of signposts.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna be just when we say check them out, I mean like I'm gonna like leer at them sexually, make them uncomfortable.
Speaking of leering at them sexually, I'm pretty sure the one you're coming up on is the Pillar of Ozymandias.
Ooh, tell me more.
Well, I mean, there's also a Gorgon hole, so was this game just trying as hard as possible to be kind of weird?
What happened here was that you were like, Pillar of Ozymandias, and I was like, all right, so it's a dick joke, and then you were like the Gorgon hole, and it just was ruined.
Well, I mean, that's either
a
vagina joke,
probably not,
or
yeah,
a great name for a fantasy bar.
Oh, totally. Hey, where was that other castle?
Not the way you're going.
Oh.
Well, I mean, now kind of the way that you're going, but after you fight a million fucking sea serpents.
Out of weapons range. Okay, so we're gonna try a thing here. Ready?
Are we gonna try a wand thing?
No, we're gonna try bow and arrow. All right, attack. Out of weapon range. What the fuck do you want from me?
By
the way,
anti-material rifle.
No. By the way, giant squid. David Jones, giant squid. Oh God. No, he doesn't make you happy.
I was not expecting that to suddenly become a Lonely Island reference.
No? Well, dude, everything should be.
I wasn't even thinking about the fact that you're Captain Jack.
I am. Holy
you're
shit!
Captain Jack Sparrow.
Daniel. This is the tale of Captain Jack Sparrow.
You want to go south?
Well,
what did I just say?
I'm going south. You better watch your fucking face. Dragon turtle? Dragon turtle. All right, sure, why not? I love how they constantly surround me. Okay, so that's the one. That's
that one. Yeah,
that's
south.
Okay, so more south.
Yep.
Just
right there. That island, right there.
Oh, there it is. I see it. I see the castle. I see the square that represents a castle. It's actually not a bad representation. Thank you for that. You can't see it, but my dog Leonard was licking Daniel's hand, and now that Daniel's hand was wet, he just wiped it all over my leg, like only a good brother would do.
I'm the best of brothers.
Oh, is that what we're calling it now?
Huh. I'm the best brother you've ever had.
By the way, you were talking about awesome bar names? Barataria.
Oh, fuck yeah. We need to, at some point in time, after we make our, millions from this YouTube show.
Oh, sure, that's a thing that happens.
After we get 1 million subscribers and make a decent chunk of cash, we need to open a bar called Barataria.
I wonder if it's already happened. Do you think someone's already come up with that name?
Potentially. Well, I mean, clearly the makers of Ultima.
Well, you know what I meant, asshole.
I do. I was willfully misinterpreting you.
Oh, right. Wait, you'd never do that.
Me? That doesn't sound like me.
By the way, I was going to ask you, why are you such an asshole?
Tragic accident when I was a child.
Oh, okay. Did you like a toxic spill? It's like your own superhero origin story, but what wound up happening is instead you just became an asshole.
Daredevil got super senses. I got super dicketry.
Great. So let's service the king.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hey, go find the Pillar of Ozymandias. So we can do that.
That is not what the walkthrough said he'd ask you for.
Now,
the walkthrough fucking lied to me.
It's one of two things. Number one, it's possible that the game like randomly generates where it sends you. Or the other thing is that this game has been ported to like fucking everything. So it's possible that the walkthrough references another version of the game.
You forgot a third possibility.
What's that?
It fucking lied to us.
Oh, yeah, sorry. No, the guy who wrote the walkthrough was like,
they'll never figure it out.
My plan is foolproof. The game won't tell them. They'll just wander around forever wondering what's going on.
No, what I'm assuming is that he was, the game will tell them, but they won't be literate. At which point somebody has to ask him, how are they reading your walkthrough?
Yes. You really thought that story all the way through before you started talking, didn't you?
All the way through to the end. I'm actually just kind of assuming that this guy's an idiot.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He's the kind of cartoon villain that you'd see in specifically Saturday morning cartoons.
Have you given him a villain name?
No.
That was your opportunity to come up with one.
I was thinking. I thought really hard, and I realized that if I thought for too much longer, this episode would just be 16 minutes of silence.
I was expecting just sitting like you could hear like just like us breathing into the microphones, just like for 16 minutes while you try to think of something.
Yeah.
You know what? I think we've had episodes like that already.
And I think we've had episodes where we kind of wish that that's what we'd done.
No. Now I'm wishing that weren't so true. Thanks, Daniel.
You're welcome.
Thanks for ruining
I'm
it.
here for you.
All right, so there's another. Which town do you think this is? We were in the town of John before. You got any guesses on this one?
Larry. Linda, I was
We're
close.
super fucking close. I was. The city of Linda? Like, was Linda someone's mom? And they're like, when you grow up and get real big and strong, don't forget to name a city after me. And he was like, all right, Mom, it's your dying wish.
Well, I mean, it's not like you're asking too much. Just name an entire city after you.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I can imagine the referendum to rename the city, and they're like, today we will be renaming the city Linda. And the entire town goes, fuck no! He's like, my mom asked me to. And they're like, oh, okay.
Look, she also wanted a statue erected of her in the southeast corner, but I figured the lake was good enough, so we're making some compromises here.
By
We
the way,
did this for you.
I just want to point something out.
Huh.
You said erected.
I was going to sigh heavily, but then I realized that that's the joke I'd make, too.
I know, right? I did that literally for you. All right, so do we need to... No, we don't need to put in another disc. No disc changing right now. At this very moment, we do not need to change disc. Shortly, oh, no, squids. Stop it!
Do we need to erect a disc?
Wait, what? That doesn't make any sense.
The joke there is that disc sounds like dick.
Oh, I caught up when you explained it to me. You know what makes jokes great? When you have to
Explaining
explain them.
Yeah. No, every joke ever has been improved by the explanation of the joke.
You ever made a joke that you were just like super proud of and everyone just goes, what? And you're like, but no, this is why it's funny. And then they're like, oh, yeah, I see. And you're like,
That doesn't tend to happen because honestly, when I'm not here, I'm actually kind of on my A game and do pretty well. But the one that always gets me is when I make a joke to a room of like 10 people, and those 10 and like 9 of those 10 people were like, "Fuck yeah, that was a good joke," and then the one person who really and despair.
What? Oh,
Are you not aware of my name is Ozymandias, King of Kings?
no.
Huh? Yeah, that's not new.
Oh, okay. Good. All right. Well, maybe it was new when this game came out.
It wasn't.
Oh, well, fine then. Now, what were you talking about? Oh, right, the 10 people, one person doesn't get it.
No, the one person who gets it but doesn't have a sense of humor, or rather thinks that they do, and decides that they're going to build on the joke.
Oh, no. Okay.
Like I went to school with a guy when I went back to school for college, and there was just one guy. Everybody else was at least a little funny or understood that they weren't that funny, and but they so when they heard a good joke, they were like, ha, that's a good joke.
Yeah.
And this guy, every time I made a joke, within 5 minutes, I had to be like, it was a good joke. Now I have to take it out back and bury it.
It was a good joke. We had to put it down. So what you're talking about is someone who's so desperate for a laugh that he'll take your joke and attempt to leech off of it.
Yeah, I can't even come up with a good example of it, but mostly because I've put them all from my memory. But it was
You just did a memory purge there.
it was just so bad. It always disappoints me so much because you make these great jokes, and then you have to witness them die slowly in front of you. And I mean, like, it'd be super rude to just be like, no, you're bad at this, stop.
Wait,
What are you doing to my joke?
I'll be honest. I kind of wish you would. Like, no, stop it. Stop, bad. And then you hit him with the newspaper. I was thinking about this the other day. I think I mentioned this to you because I realized what
How
makes
handsome I am.
Yes, just the best. Like when I look in the mirror, all I can think is I wish I looked like Daniel.
How did he get the handsome genes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, of course, ignoring the fact that whenever someone meets, they're like, oh, you must be Daniel's brother. And I go, how'd you say that? And they say, because you look exactly the same.
And ignoring the fact that there was actually a person who was at a place that we both worked, who when they finally saw us in the same room, they were like, oh, there's two of you.
Yeah. Who was that? I've forgotten.
Just a random person who worked above us who decided to grace us with their presence.
I forgot. Management on the floor above. But I realized what makes someone funny the other day, and it is the ability to tell a story, and have that story have, like, you know, an ending, a punchline.
It's also the ability to time it really well.
Yes.
Comedic timing is the most important part of comedy.
Did you? Very nice. Ooh, more strength. He gave us strength +8, just like his friend did. Now, you were telling me that the other quest we need to do involves killing a carrion creeper, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was telling you,
the king told us.
The king told you.
Yes.
I understand that you're saying that I'm like a king to you.
Yeah. Well, that is exactly what I was saying. When I think of king, the first thing I think is Daniel the king. But like I was saying, is telling a story. I remember being in line at just a fast food place getting lunch the other day. And one of the girls behind the counter, she was like, the conversation had turned to something, and you could tell that she was like just desperate to tell this hilarious story that she knew that she could just like lay this story out there and get a huge laugh. Would you like to hear the story as told by this girl?
I would love to hear the story.
Okay. So this was basically her story. The other day, I was eating, and I had this, I don't remember exactly what kind of food she was eating, but it was just this thing, and she felt that it needed...
A burrito?
Let's say it was a fucking burrito.
Okay, I would have gone with a regular burrito, but I guess you could be eating a fucking burrito.
You know what? Shut up. So she was like, I was eating this burrito, and it wasn't quite spicy enough. So I put in, like, you know, I took one of those packets of hot sauce, and I put the packet of hot sauce on it, and was like, oh, no, it just needs a little more kick. And I'm, like, getting ready for the punchline here, because I'm like, oh, dude, she's building up. Here it comes! Here it comes! And so she's like, yeah, and so it wasn't hot enough, so I put another packet on there. And then it still wasn't hot enough, so I put another hot sauce packet on there, and I was like, no, it needs a little more. And I finally put one last packet of hot sauce on there, and I took a bite, and it was too hot.
Good.
That was her big punchline. I was like, oh man, I want my time back. And I mean, I wasn't even part of this conversation.
Can you outsource that joke to someone else? Someone else could have, like, capped that off with, like, a real zinger on the end.
But that's the thing is that being funny is effectively being able to relate a story and put a punchline on the end, as opposed to having everyone like, you know, oh shit, this is going to be so good. I can't wait till it's over. Oh, all right. Well, I guess I'll go back to my life now.
Well, it doesn't have to be a story specifically.
No.
I'm sure you have noticed, one of my favorite forms of humor is willfully misinterpreting what somebody is saying.
Oh, no, I'm fully aware. Now, here's the thing. You and I are not ones to exactly, you know, talk about what the funniest things to say in the world are. But I like to think that we have, like, a specifically refined sense of humor. Like, we know what we find funny, and we have, like, you know, worked that.
My favorite example of my working the will from this interpretation was when I was in school. We were doing some 3D animation stuff.
Just like really driving home that you went back to school today, huh?
I'm coming, like, a lot of the examples I'm thinking of here just happen to be from that.
Okay.
I went back to school like 4 years ago. This isn't something new that happened in my life, and everybody's got to be like, oh man, Daniel went back to school. Good job, Daniel.
Did you want me to say that anyway?
Please.
Oh, Daniel, you went back to school. Good work. I bet you feel much smarter now.
That was like 3 years ago. Why the hell are you still talking about it?
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
Well played. Where the fuck am I going, by the way? What am I doing?
Carrion creeper.
Oh, right. Okay, well, we're going to see if we can get to... You know what I haven't done in a while that we need to do right now?
Save.
Yeah. So tell your story while the game is saving.
So we were doing some 3D animation work, and we had our teacher come in from another class who does the 3D animation stuff on a regular basis, and there were two classes. The other one only had 2 people in it, but one of them was really, like, he knew what he was doing when it came to 3D animation work. And so at the end of a lot of classes, I was probably, of the 2 classes, I was probably like second or third best. I was actually pretty decent at it. But when it comes to rigging a model, I fucking hate it. So that was never going to be my career.
Okay.
But like I do fairly good with the animation of pre-rigged models, and I do really well with modeling things. It was just adding the rigging. So we'd throw all of this together and he'd be like, "Oh man, that was really good, and that was really good. Now let me show you what Gerard, the guy from the other class, did." And after he did this like 4 times, I'm like, I can't help but notice that you keep being like, "Oh man, this was really good. Now let me show you what somebody with talent does." And the teacher just could not take the joke. Like this happened probably about 4 times.
Yeah.
And then he just stopped showing us the work. Everybody else in the class thought this was great, but he was just like, "I guess I'm just not going to show you this anymore." And then he made a big deal of it one day when he came in. He was like, "Yeah, Daniel, last time I showed your work in their class."
So, like, eventually he was in on the joke.
No, he wasn't. He was doing that as though to try to exonerate himself.
Really?
He was not oh man. Of all of my teachers, he was the unfunny one. He was the guy who didn't really have a sense of humor.
I super hope he watches this now.
I super hope he does.
Well, okay.
My favorite one is I actually had a teacher who she started out trying to be super professional. She's like, "No, I'm not gonna. I'm professional. I have to try to keep a professional attitude and atmosphere in the classroom." And I told her on like the 3rd day that my goal in life was to get her in on a joke, was to get her to participate. And she was like, it's not going to happen. You're going to be disappointed. So 3 months into the course.
Yeah. You were dedicated to this?
Oh, I was fucking dedicated. And I don't remember how this even started, but what happened was there was a specific, she was our art teacher. We were doing drawing and so on, and storyboarding and so on with her. And she was talking about how, and like every single time we got an assignment back, it would be marked out of 3 or 4 categories kind of thing. And one of them was structure. And structure was basically like, does this look proportionate to a real thing that you're drawing? How does this fit together? Even if it's cartoony, does it look like it could really exist kind of thing?
Right.
No one got 5 out of 5 on that. Everyone got 4.5 or lower. Everybody got close, but couldn't quite nail it. So one day I actually sat down with her and we went over it for probably about an hour for me trying to get it, because it was I was set on getting on getting 5 out of 5 on structure. I worked really hard on it. And I handed it in, and a few days later, she hands them all back, and on my sticky note, it's got, my overall quality, and it's got, all the different points, and then at the very bottom, it says structure, 2.3 out of 5, and then below that, out of spite.
Fucking really?
It was, and she came up to me later, and she was like, on my computer at home, it says 5 out of 5. But I fucking got her to sync to our level, and to this day, I'm so happy about that.
I just like that she was like not only did she do the joke, but she was out of spite. Like, were she not a teacher, that sticky note would have said, "'Cause fuck you."
Anyway, this episode ended about halfway through that story.
Seriously?
Yeah. So if this episode just cuts off halfway through my story, I'm a sad. We'll see you guys next time when we fucking beat a carrion creeper.
Join us next time. To a dungeon completely naked.
Well, that is far more fucking terrifying than the most images of a carrion crawler.
What you got?
So that's a carrion creeper.
Jesus Christ! Well, hey there, Internet. My name is Tom.
And I'm Daniel.
And we are brothers. We're going to play some games for you. We figured we would start this series off with just an old game that we both played with.